Starting.
Oh, there we go.
Here we are.
Oh.
Are we here? Uh-oh. Is it working?
I don't know. It says live in the corner.
Are we here?
Oh, there we go.
There we are.
It's just a lag.
Uh-oh. Should we turn that off?
Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna be able to hear it.
Yeah. All right. Is anyone here? I don't know how to tell on here. It says one viewer.
Which, that's us.
Is that us?
Pulled up, yeah.
Okay.
And then it'll show like when people come in, I think.
Okay.
I wobbled us.
Wait a minute.
We'll hang out for a
See
second.
if anyone shows up.
We'll just hang out.
Some wine.
Have some wine.
You know, when we were doing it on my computer, we could see the messages.
It was set up a little different the last time we did it.
Over here, so I'm confused.
Yeah, I think that it will show up in that chat part.
Maybe we did it wrong.
I think we did it right. Because we're live on there.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll see if anyone shows up, I guess. So far, it's just us.
So far, it's just us hanging out. Hanging out.
My wine already has a floaty in it.
Oh, no. Mine just has lipstick on the...
Mine surprisingly doesn't. This lipstick's staying on pretty well.
This lipstick is just, it's just Urban Decay. It doesn't stand very well. It's just like the actual lipstick.
Mine is Ofra.
Oprah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds fun. We're just hanging out.
I feel like maybe we're doing it wrong.
Well, we're there. Oh no.
Oh no.
It says live.
Yeah. Should we just go?
Oh, it says private.
Oh, that's probably
we have
why.
to make it public. I don't know how to do that.
Oh,
That's got it. Okay, so here, click on these little dotty dotties. No, the dotty dotties. Oh no. Okay, and then click on. We'll click on edit video.
Oh yeah, that's it.
It's been so long since we've been allowed to do this. We forgot to do it. And then there, change it to public, and then
okay,
and then save changes.
Okay, publish. Now I hope the lag isn't way far behind because we're idiots and didn't.
Now it says 2 viewers.
Yay. Okay. Now is anyone there?
Ready? Okay.
We forgot how to stream live on YouTube, so it took us a minute.
It's been a long time since we've been allowed to do this.
Yeah. So YouTube for finally allowing us to live stream again.
Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, I hope that the lag isn't like completely way far behind because see, yeah, now the chat shows up. Yeah.
Okay.
We dumb. Okay.
We'll have to watch it on the other one. Otherwise, we'll be watching the laggy one.
Okay.
I don't know.
Now it says 0 viewers.
So no one's here.
No one's here.
Okay.
Let's just drink more wine.
Deal.
All right. We'll just wait and see if anyone shows up.
Today is Galentine's Day, right?
It is Galentine's Day.
Happy Galentine's Day to you.
Happy Galentine's Day.
Let's drink wine together.
Yes.
Let us.
We should have had some waffles.
Oh, we should have had some waffles. That's what we should have had for dinner.
Waffles for dinner.
Waffles for dinner.
Mm-hmm. Pizza's better.
True.
Pizza's always better.
Pizza is the best.
The best.
1 viewer, is that us?
I don't know.
Someone
It might
actually
be.
watching.
It might be us. Maybe Tuesdays aren't a good day.
Maybe Tuesdays are a bad day for live shows.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I guess we can wait like 10 minutes, and if nobody shows up, we can just say fuck it.
Just say fuck it. Fuck it. People liked your tweet.
Yeah. Somebody, if anyone shows up, let us know.
let us know if you're there. Otherwise, we're just, hanging out, staring at a camera.
Yep.
So,
it says 2 watching now.
Okay. Anybody who's here? Who's watching?
Should we just start talking, I guess?
Fuck it.
All right. So we were discussing the books we read this month and for our restricted book club. And this month we did it a little differently, where we decided to pick a category from the Read Harder Challenge.
Mm-hmm. So we just wrote numbers down and drew one at random and picked one of the challenges to do.
And we picked to read a romance novel by a person about a person of color. Their pizza just got here, so Megan's gonna go. Yeah, so this is probably going to turn into a mukbang because we're going to be eating pizza. But the book I ended up reading was Like Water for Chocolate by Laura Esquivel, which is about a woman. Well, she's a teenager when the book starts, and a boy who she's in love with asks her mother if she can marry her. And her mother says no, she has to stay and stay home and can't ever marry, and she has to take care of me. And then the boy ends up marrying her sister instead, just so he can be close to her. And then, yeah, kind of like how that. Ooh,
that was unpleasant.
How that
viewers now.
Yeah, how that affects the rest of her life and her relationship with her mother, her relationship with her sister. And also heavily has to do with cooking. There's like recipes at the beginning of each chapter. And she also, part of the synopsis of this book says that she finds out she can cook her emotions into her food, which is true, but I don't know that she's ever aware of it.
Interesting.
But it does happen in the book, but I feel like it's not as big a part of the book as the synopsis would lead you to believe.
Like a magical realism?
It is
emotions?
Yeah, it is magical realism.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I actually read this in one day.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was a Sunday. I just read pretty much all day. Nope. Yeah, so I read this in a day, and it was pretty good. Do you want to say what you read, and then we'll kind of like talk about both? And
fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. I went full on romance for this challenge because I don't read a lot of romance novels. So I thought, go big or go home. Fuck it.
Right.
So I read. I think it's called. Oh hell. I think it's called. Our comments weren't showing up where I thought they would.
Yeah.
Haven, and it's the first book of the Beards in Bondage series, and it's by Rebecca Weatherspoon, who is Black, and the female protagonist in the book is also Black. So it's about this woman who is on vacation. It starts out in a really fucked up way, but this woman goes on vacation, something traumatic happens, she meets this dude, he's got a beard, and he's into bondage.
All right.
Fucking ensues. Like that's the plot.
Okay.
So
hi Mindy, by the way.
Hi Mindy.
And hi Coor.
Hi.
Sorry that there's probably like a giant lag on this because we like accidentally had it private for a while and then we dicked it around for a long time. So
yeah.
Sorry about that. We're probably getting your comments on a giant lag.
We forgot how to do
this on YouTube because it's been a while. So next month, hopefully, will be better.
I'm gonna grab some Platos.
Platos. Oh, and we're drinking some wine since it's Galentine's Day. We're having this Riverboat Red. Riverboat Red sweet red wine, and it's from Les Bourgeois Vineyards, which is in Rocheport, Missouri. So it's a local winery. Local as in it's in the state. But because I'm not sure where Rocheport is.
I have no idea where it is.
Yeah, so let's talk about, I guess, like whether we think we gained anything from doing this challenge.
Okay.
I do think that I gained something from reading this book because there is quite a bit about like the Mexican culture in it, and this is also set during. Is it like? I'm not even sure. It's set during like some sort of war that's happening.
Some sort of war.
It's set in Mexico. Wait, I don't know. It's set on the backdrop of this like war that's happening there too. I should probably find out which one. It probably said in there. But yeah, so I think I did get like a taste at least of Mexican culture and obviously the foods that they eat and some of their traditions and stuff. So yeah, I think I gained something from it. I don't know that I gained anything from it specifically because it was a romance, which this is kind of. It's a romance, but it's other things as well. You know, it's magical realism, and some people might call it literary fiction. So
Litfic. The hipsters call it.
These look like little,
I just made it up.
little bird feet or something.
Little garlic gnats.
Gnats.
I can't say that like a normal person. I think I gained at least entertainment from reading the book that I read. I mean, it didn't. It's not like a big earth-shattering, like deep literary work of art, but
yeah,
I was entertained.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read the second book.
Are you?
Yeah. I bought it on my Kindle.
So you did like the Beards in Bondage.
A little bit. A little bit. But yeah, I really liked, I think I've said this before, but there were a lot of conversations about consent in it, which I thought was important. So I thought that was really cool to see in a romance novel, especially one about bondage and BDSM and stuff, because I think that is probably, I don't know for sure, but I think that's probably a more accurate representation of the BDSM community, is one that they care about consent and respect and all that.
More accurate as compared to
50 Shades of Grey, which I've also read.
I have not.
But it was terrible. And I feel like the only thing I gained from reading it is the right to make fun of it.
Yeah. I almost, I kind of wanted to read it just so that I could, make fun of it. And
So it's worth it.
You think it'd be worth my time?
No. It's really a waste of time. I read it and I was like, this bitch says inner goddess one more time. I'm gonna lose my shit.
I've already read all of the Twilight series. It's a Twilight fanfic, so
maybe just get up in there.
I've read way better fanfics too than. I mean, like I said, I haven't read it, but I read excerpts, and it was so bad. In the words of RuPaul, hello, hello, hello.
Well, hello
to you too.
Hello, RuPaul.
I don't know that much about RuPaul. I've never watched Drag Race or anything.
I know that he's goddamn pretty. I know that. Mindy's book journey. She read I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It was not a romance, but she did have the love of her family, even though things weren't easy for her.
I would like to read that book.
I would too. Hi, Maggie.
Hi. It was really beautifully written. Yeah, I've never read anything. It's by Maya Angelou, right? I've never read any Maya Angelou, and I would like to.
I read like some poetry or something. I feel like I've read something from her. But
yeah, maybe it's possible I read one of her poems in college because I took a poetry class and I read a lot of poems.
I read a lot of poems. Yeah, she's brilliant.
Them all. I do know that I read Gwendolyn Brooks in that poetry class because I fell in love with Gwendolyn Brooks.
I bought that
I love Gwendolyn
book
Brooks.
poems from her because you said you really loved her, and I haven't read it yet, but I really want to.
I would suggest finding recordings of her reading the poems if you can, because she reads them with like this rhythm that I think you don't get
if you're just
reading them yourself. And that's part of what I really love about it. Because I've noticed in myself that I think I enjoy poetry and songs as well more for the rhythm than for the actual words being said.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah. But anyway, let me drink a little bit of red wine.
A little bit of real wine. My favorite underrated YA romance is Don't Die, My Love by Lurleen McDaniel.
Very similar to The Fault in Our Stars, except written 2 decades earlier.
Ooh, interesting. Do the
John
teenagers
Green
talk like really pretentious adults in that book like they do in The Fault in Our Stars? That was my problem with that book.
Yeah. I liked The Fault in Our Stars when I read it.
I did too.
Several years ago.
I think it actually made me cry. Which is hard to do.
It's rough, man. It's a rough one.
Yeah. And I do like John Green. I think he's a cool guy.
I think he's a cool guy too, but I did not like Paper Towns. Those are the only 2 books I read by him. I didn't like Paper Towns at all.
I've only read The Fault in Our Stars. And I liked it, like, minus the dialogue. I was like, come on, man, I don't even talk like this. I'm 30.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate not writing teens as idiots.
Me too.
But it went, like, too far. They were just like... And, I mean, the girl read a lot, so... That's more realistic. Someone needs to write a book about teenagers that eat Tide Pods.
The Fault in Our Tide. The tide takes us all. Riding out on the tide.
Riding out, as in dying.
As in dying.
It'd be a tragic love story as well. They die because they eat Tide Pods.
Or maybe they met.
They want to go viral.
Maybe they met in the emergency room while they were getting their stomachs pumped. Love over charcoal.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not a teenager.
Terrell says it follows a relationship between a high school football player and his girlfriend, which takes a tragic turn when the jock gets diagnosed with cancer.
That kind of sounds like Love Story.
Love Story? Is that a title of something?
Yeah, it was written in like... It's a book that was made into a movie. It was written in like a... Fuck me. The movie was like an 80s movie. I think. 70s or 80s. It's a really...
I don't know what you're talking about. So.
I think they're in college though. And it's this like really bookish... If anybody knows what the fuck I'm talking about, help me out here. But it's
a love story.
Yes. It's a really bookish girl. And she falls in love with like the jockey douchey guy. But then... one of them gets cancer. Yes, there's one that will destroy you, right? That one's fucked up. Maggie knows what I'm talking about. When was that book written? Help me out. When was the movie happen? When did that happen?
Sounds like some Nicholas Sparks shit.
It kind of, but like it's pre-Nicholas Sparks, and I think it's done better. But yeah, it's real fucked up. In 1970. Thank you. Oh God, Love Means Never End.
Oh, I've heard that line before.
Oh, it's from Love Story.
Is it?
Yeah.
I feel like I should know what this movie is, but I don't know.
It's real fucked up.
Because that's like a famous line, right? Mm-hmm. I've definitely heard that.
That's like the iconic line from that movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, I mean, they fight all the time.
Right. Did anyone notice that Megan peeled all the cheese off of her pizza?
Way to call me out, babe.
I was just wondering if anyone would notice it.
Fucking rude.
Like, what's that weird girl not eating cheese on her pizza?
Oh my God. So yeah, I don't eat cheese on my pizza. I peel it off.
Oh yeah, that movie was the popular saying. Saying sorry doesn't mean I love you or something. So cheese-tastic in the best possible way.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to find it.
Mm-hmm. It's like a little bit gut-wrenching, but also pretty cringy.
So I'm gonna like bawl my eyes out.
You're gonna cringe and cry. Like at the same time. Like, I hate this book making me cry. Yeah. I love it.
Okay. Sounds great. Mm-hmm. This book I think made me tear up a little. Although I will say, has anybody read like Water for Chocolate? It's a pretty popular one. Because I would like to know if anyone else thinks she chose the wrong man. because I do. For sure. But I guess it was about, I mean, maybe following your passion instead of doing what's sensible, which I feel like is maybe bad advice.
I mean,
I don't know.
sometimes you gotta follow your lady bitch. I mean, don't marry that guy, but you know.
Well, Lurleen McDaniel recommendations. I never heard of Lurleen McDaniel, so
I'm gonna have to look her
some of
up.
those.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of any of those.
No, I'll have to look them up.
Hi, Murphy. You can't sit on me right now because I'm eating pizza. He's like, I know.
I know, that's why I want to get up there. You got some foods I want. No, you can't sit on me either.
Do you have any deep insights about beards and bondage? Was there any?
I
Do you think it enriched your life?
I mean, I think that it was what I needed right then because I had just finished The Alienist, and that book was like real tedious, and so I feel like I needed something just kind of like light and fun and silly. Right. And I think that it gave that to me. You know, it was fun, fun to read.
Maggie says, "Lainey, what your childhood?"
That's my niece's name.
Really? What's your new niece's name? I never asked.
Kylie Aaron.
Kylie. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm after you.
And that little bitch is cute.
My niece Kenna has the same middle name as me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's
That's adorable.
Kenna Renee. Like Water for Chocolate is one of Maggie's favorites, and yes, she totally chose the wrong one. Yeah. Although I was glad how the ending ended up. I won't like spoil it for anyone, but I was kind of pissed for a second. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Fuck this.
And then when something else happened, I was like, "Okay, I guess that's fitting." What's our favorite contemporary romance? We really don't read contemporary romance or romance. Although we did both read If I Was Your Girl.
That was really good.
By Meredith Russo last year. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think the hype for that one is justified because I thought it was really good.
I think it's an important book because I think that, trans teens need to read stories about themselves that are...
Because it was a little bit of a cliche type of story, I think.
Right.
But I think that, putting like a trans girl in that cliche story
that's important.
Is important to see that like I can be that girl, you know what I mean?
Seeing yourself represented in the things that you read and watch is important.
Right.
So I did really like that book.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I've read any other. I used to read romance all the time in high school. And when I say romance, I mean like bodice ripper type romance because I was just like a horny teenager, I guess. Actually, I read these ones by, I think the author was Suzanne Brockman. I could be wrong. I think that was her name. But she did these books about, they all followed like members of this Navy SEAL team. Maybe that's why I started dating a Navy veteran.
I know that series.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Because I think Bree read that series.
It's really good because like the sex is super hot in it.
Really?
And she doesn't use like weird words for penis and stuff like a lot of romance novels. She says like dick and cock, I think. Just like normal, I think. But those books are like, if you want like steamy hot romance, I mean, me as a teenager thought they were steamy hot. I don't know. I haven't read one since then.
Since you are not,
but I remember them clearly in my brain because I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I just don't read romance because I'm not really like a warm fuzzy person, in case you hadn't noticed. So I don't really like enjoy things like that. And then also like reading about sex makes me feel weird sometimes just because of those strange words. Like
I just think it's kind of funny when they use weird words. Like I read one book where they called it a rod. Throughout his rod.
Oh,
they say
member.
Like his sex.
Member. Thrust his member into her sex. Ooh, what is that?
Terrell says, I was born in 1986 but grew up in the 90s. Which 80s movie do you like better? Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or Pretty in Pink?
Breakfast Club.
I would probably say The Breakfast Club as well. I have not seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I hate Ferris Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
He's a little shit.
Unpopular opinion, but I'm not
He's a
sure
shit.
if I've seen 16 Candles or not. I have seen Pretty in Pink, and I liked that movie when I watched it, but like looking back on it now, I'm like, she should have dated Ducky.
She
Like, what
should
the
have
fuck?
dated Ducky.
What the fuck?
Right. Ducky totally got screwed on that one because like he was so good to her, and then she chose the wad.
Yeah.
But I love Pretty in Pink. What about Terrell? Have you seen Some Kind of Wonderful? Do you like that one? I fucking love Some Kind of Wonderful.
What's that?
That's another 80s movie. It's got that like redheaded dude. God, I gotta start learning actors' names, but it's about him and then this his best friend is this really cool like short-haired drummer chick, and they're like BFFs, and he falls in love with like the popular girl, and she helps him like get the popular girl, but then he realizes that like should have been with.
He's in love with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I fucking love Some Kind of Wonderful.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that one. I'm not well versed in movies. If you guys hadn't noticed by now, I don't watch a lot of movies, and I didn't have a VCR when I was a kid, so I just like didn't get to watch them.
We had a VCR for a long time, but we didn't have like cable or anything. We just had a VCR and like 2 channels.
Yeah, I didn't have cable or a VCR until I was like 13. Which I was born in 87. So when I was 13, it was like when VCRs were starting to become obsolete.
Right.
And then my dad was finally like, yeah, we can get a VCR. Me and my sister were like, sweet.
Yes, movie time.
And then we bought the movie A Knight's Tale. And we watched it over and over again.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Coor. Are we saying your name right?
Yeah, hook us up, man.
Same, Megan. I'm a dark humor kind of person, and reading romance novels isn't my go-to. My favorite 80s cheese movie is Teen Witch.
Oh, nice.
I have not seen Teen Witch either.
I have not seen it in many, many moons.
If I was to like list for you guys all the movies I have not seen, you would probably all be appalled because it's just ridiculous. Especially 80s movies.
Well, you don't like the 80s.
Not really.
So that makes sense.
The best thing that came out of the 80s was me.
Hey.
And you.
Thanks.
Mindy says her favorite is 16 Candles.
I haven't seen that.
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but I don't really remember it. I remember the song. 16 candles down. Is that how it goes?
I don't remember. Did you see Molly Ringwald in God, this is embarrassing that I know this, but she was in The Secret Life of the American Teenager.
No.
It's just like an ABC Family show. I don't know why I know that. She was the mom. And like seeing her like be the mom like kind of fucked me up a little bit. I was like, that is Molly Ringwald.
How do you think it makes her feel?
She's in the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
God.
Maggie says Breakfast Club all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Real talk. Real talk. I had such a crush on young Judd Nelson.
Really?
I was very disappointed in the way that he aged. It's like, damn it, Judd Nelson. But fuck, young Judd Nelson was hot. And in St. Elmo's Fire.
I haven't seen St.
Even
Elmo's
though
Fire.
That's another one I love. He was a shit in that movie, but goddamn, he was hot. Damn, Judd Nelson. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think my first celebrity crush is a problematic one now, but it was probably Johnny Depp.
Mine was
when I was in high school. He was like 40. I was like, he's so hot.
He's so hot. Mine was Jeff Goldblum. I watched Jurassic Park and like I was like, I'm feeling things I didn't know I could feel.
I was very young when I watched Jurassic Park, so I had no inkling of those kind of feelings. Favorite 80s sitcoms. We're getting an 80s quiz here.
Yeah, we are.
I like it. Family Ties, Who's the Boss, Growing Pains, Mr. Belvedere, Perfect Strangers, Alf, Punky Brewster, Webster Small Wonder, Kate and Allie. I watched Who's the Boss, Perfect Strangers, and Alf. And I think Growing Pains as well. And Growing Pains, is that where they had the dog named Dreyfus? There's a different show. That's Empty Nest. That's Empty Nest, maybe.
I watched like
Someone
Cheers and
Cheers. I watched a lot of Cheers.
Mm-hmm. That's on Netflix now.
Yeah, I know. It's been on Netflix for a while, I think.
What else? Cheers.
I watched, I don't remember 80s sitcoms I watched because I mean, I was like,
I was 2.
I lived for like
2 years in the 80s.
less than 3 years in the 80s.
Yeah.
But like early 90s, I watched Married with Children, Roseanne.
I watched Roseanne.
Friends.
ER.
I mean, Friends was like late 90s or earlier. I don't know.
I think ER was mid-90s.
I watched ER too.
Man, that's my shit, and it's on Hulu. I've gotten fuck all done lately because I have been at Chicago County Hospital or whatever the fuck it is, watching my friends. Is there a different
show called like Chicago Fire or something?
Mm-hmm. There's Chicago Fire, and then there's like a Chicago like PD one. I don't know what it's called though. Mm-hmm. I don't watch those, but
Who's the Boss was Mindy's favorite. Tony Danza. Oh, I used to watch TGIF, and they had like Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, nice.
Step by Step.
Oh,
Family Matters.
Step by step.
Day by day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Family Matters with Urkel.
Oh, I hate Urkel.
Really?
Did I do that? Like, but you know you did that.
I know why you hated Urkel.
Why?
Because he'd always talk about cheese.
That's what it was.
You got me cheese?
Oh, I think it was the nasally voice that got me. I was like, stop.
What about when he was Stefan?
No, when he was Stefan, I was alright with it.
Coor. Talking about film star crush, definitely Heath Ledger, mostly because of A Knight's Tale. Yes, I loved Heath Ledger from A Knight's Tale.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Heath Ledger in general, but like,
yeah,
I definitely had a crush on him from A Knight's Tale too. Also, I loved the like side characters in that movie. One of them is played by Alan Tudyk. I don't know how to say his last name.
That sounds risque.
But he was in Firefly and other stuff. But I loved him, and the guy that played Chaucer, who now he's the guy that I don't remember his real name, but he plays Vision in the Marvel movies now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Loved those guys too. And I mean, the other guy was cool too, but I didn't really have a crush on him.
Fine.
He looked too much like my dad.
Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm.
He's a 1992 kid, so 80s sitcoms I missed out. 90s sitcoms would be Roseanne. I do love old 90s sci-fi like Stargate. I never watched Oh, you know what I used to watch a lot of? Xena, Warrior Princess.
Oh, dude, Xena.
And Hercules.
Oh, I didn't watch Hercules, but
and
I
a little
Xena.
bit of Beastmaster, the show.
I watched either.
Terrell loves Saved by the Bell and everything that was Nickelodeon. I didn't have cable, so I missed out on all the Nickelodeon.
I got to watch that at my grandma's house, and I really loved Our Real Monsters, but my grandma was kind of weird about me watching it, so it would come on, she's like, I want to watch this scary shit. But she didn't say shit. But I want to watch this, it's scary.
You know what I watched at my grandma's house? Old tapes of Hee Haw and, what's his name? Ray Stevens.
Oh.
Yes, they call him the street.
We just mostly watch Passions.
His physique. Passions is soap opera. My dad was hooked on soap operas for a long time. And
really?
Yeah, which is if you guys knew my dad, it would be hilarious because he's like
pretty funny.
He's a redneck basically, but he was hooked on Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives, and Passions for a long time.
My stepdad was really into The Price is Right. And so whenever I was home with him, we would watch The Price is Right. And then he would take me to get donuts.
Sounds like a good deal.
I used to pretend to be sick so I didn't have to go to daycare so I could stay home and watch The Price is Right and get some donuts. That was smart, kid.
Remember the iconic Saved by the Bell scene in which Jessie, addicted to caffeine pills, sang the Pointer Sisters song, I'm so excited, I'm so excited, I'm so scared. I don't remember Saved by the Bell well enough to actually remember that scene, but I know of it because people talk about it.
Yeah, it's still pretty iconic, but Saved by the Bell, I feel like was a little bit before my time.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching it, but I don't really remember any specific details of it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I would watch it because it came on early in the morning, and I was always a night owl even as a child, so even as a kid I would a lot of times not wake up in time to watch like Saturday morning cartoons and those shows and stuff, like I would miss all of them because I was sleeping.
I was a really early riser when I was a little kid. Like I would get up with the sun. And then when I was a teenager, of course, I just slept a lot, but
Right.
now I am
I've always been a night owl. I've only just recently started being like better about, you know,
waking up.
Yeah, waking up and going to bed at reasonable hours. I'm still up too late. I was up till like 1:30 last night. But I used to stay up till like 3 or 3:30.
That's an improvement. That is an improvement. Let me take your plate.
Sure. Thank you. All right. So we haven't talked that much about the books.
No.
But I don't know. I think that I gave this like 3.5 stars. So I wasn't in love with it. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I read it in like a day, so it was definitely compelling and a quick read. And also, I got it at a library sale, and there was this leaf in it.
Oh, that's cool. Hello, little leaf.
So I just left it in there. But I don't know. It definitely wasn't like a favorite by any means.
Yeah, I mean, I liked mine enough to. I'm gonna read the second book, but I mean, like I said, it's a romance novel, so it's not like earth-shattering or super profound or anything. But yeah, I didn't find it like super awkward. Like the sex scenes were pretty. They were all right. They're decent.
Yeah.
And like I said, I like the consent part. And the woman was pretty. I feel like she was pretty empowered, and she actually, not to ruin the ending, but she proposed to the man in the end.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Real talk. She came to win him back. You know, like how usually it's the dude making like a big grand gesture. Well, she did that.
I kind of want to read that book now.
Really?
I think I'd like it.
You probably would. I mean, like I said, the sex scenes really weren't bad. They were pretty decent.
I mean, I've read some fucked up fan fiction, so I don't think it bothered me.
There was a part that involved a butt plug that I was like, oh, girl. She was into it. Like, they talked about it ahead of time. She picked it out. Like, they went shopping together for butt plugs, and she picked it out. So I was like, all right, well, you know, whatever. Not going to disparage what you're into. But I was like, girl.
Have you seen those ones that have a tail?
Yes. I know someone who has one of those.
That's weird to me. Not necessarily because it's a butt plug with a tail, but it's like, that's not where a tail goes.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
right,
a tail would be up
tail bone.
higher.
Right.
So it looks stupid.
Like
why do you have a tail coming out of your asshole?
Like, that just probably looks like poop. Like, maybe you have some weird poop. Some fuzzy poop. I don't know.
I was going to try to make one of the recipes from this book, but they're all kind of involved. Where they have ingredients that I've never heard of, so I'm probably not going to do that. Also, I hate cooking.
Cooking kind of sucks.
So maybe that's part of why I didn't love this book, is that it heavily involves cooking, and I fucking hate cooking. So, Terrell said, I know that daytime soap operas are a launching pad for many famous actors who go on to bigger and better things, like Jensen Ackles.
Like Jensen, you know, I made a really snotty comment the other day. Like, I was out to lunch with a couple of my friends from work, and I made a shitty comment about, like, can you imagine, like, being an actor on a soap opera? Like, where do you go from there? And one of my friends was like, well, let's see. Shit. She found, like, a bunch of people who started on soap operas.
Yeah. I remember when Jensen Ackles was on Days of Our Lives, when he was, like, a baby face. He was Eric Brady, I believe, was his character. If I recall correctly. And look at him now. I mean, he's still not a huge movie star, but done pretty well for him.
I'd say.
And I heard that he almost was Captain America. That's what I've heard. What? That he was like this close to being Captain America, but it didn't, like, his supernatural schedule conflicted with it.
If he was Captain America, that might be my new Marvel favorite. Hello, Jensen.
Yeah, soap operas are dropping off left and right. People don't watch them anymore.
No, I mean, I feel like with reality TV, like, why watch soaps? Like, if you want to watch, I would
rather watch soaps, though, because, like, the thing that pisses me off about reality TV is that it's lying to me about being reality. Right. It's not staged. It's not real.
Right.
But soap operas, I know it's fake.
Right. And they don't even
that's fine with me.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. I really, like, if I'm going to watch something stupid and over the top, like, I don't mind watching, like, a reality TV show. Like, I like The Real Housewives of Atlanta for my trashy, like, over dramatic fix. And so,
See, I usually just watch like really crappy sitcoms
Mm,
if I want something,
something trashy.
some trash to
Some
watch.
trash.
Just watch sitcoms.
Yeah, I'll just watch Hotlanta. Ain't nothing about them bitches real, so you know.
Mindy says, I definitely recommend I know why the caged bird sings. It deals with a lot with the same heart issues as The Bluest Eye without being so depressing. I have not read The Bluest Eye yet.
I haven't either, but it's Toni Morrison's. I have a feeling it's going to be like real intense.
Oh yeah.
Because Beloved was.
Right.
That one
Beloved was very
kind of fucked me up a little bit. It was really good though.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty brilliant.
Yeah. Anybody got any other comments?
Any other comments about
on anything? Romance novels?
Romance novels?
What do you guys think of the new format we're doing where we just pick a
challenge? Are you guys okay with
challenge?
that?
Is that cool? Oh, maybe we should pick a challenge now.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Should we just like find one we like instead of picking a random one? Because some of them are kind of like lame.
Yeah. Let me grab I have my list out here.
Okay. Oh, Josh Duhamel got his start as Leo Duprez on the now canceled All My Children. I didn't know that.
And that's
I'm trying to think who else, because there's some people who are like career soap opera stars, like Susan Lucci. She's like famous for being a soap opera star. But yeah, there's a lot of people who started there. And shit, what was his name? The guy that was on the show Desperate Housewives. He was on Passions.
Oh, yeah, Passions.
I can't remember what his name was now though. I don't know, but he was on Desperate Housewives, and he was like the young pool boy or something that one of them was having an affair with.
Oh God, I remember that.
I want to say his character on Passion's name was Miguel, but that could be his real name. I'm not sure. Ashley Benson. I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
But she apparently got her start on Days of Our Lives as Abby Devereaux. All right. Mindy is going to be reading all mysteries in March for March Mystery Madness. Well, there's a mystery challenge.
Well, Mindy, would you like to do? Let's see, where'd that?
A mystery by a person of color or LGBTQ+ author.
Let's maybe make that our March.
What do you guys think?
Challenge. What do you guys think? Anyone up for that? I think I just like got some free. BookBub has those like free ebook downloads or whatever. Like it has a list of like free ebooks, and so I've been like checking that every day and downloading some shit. Most of it's like looks pretty bad, but some of them I'm like, yeah, all right. So I think I may have downloaded something that would count for this challenge.
Cool.
And
I'm gonna have to find something because I know shit all about mysteries. I hardly ever read mysteries.
I don't either.
Jesse Metcalf. Yes, thank you.
There we go.
His character's name was Miguel, I'm pretty sure, on Passions. He was also in John Tucker Must Die. Is that a movie?
Yeah.
I think so.
What's
the difference between mysteries and thrillers?
Beats me. I don't know. I feel like
those are two genres we almost never read.
I feel like a thriller is like maybe like somewhere between mystery and horror.
Or mystery and like crime novel.
Yeah, and maybe more like psychological.
Often, I feel like a thriller is like you're chasing after. It's like action.
Yeah.
It's like mystery meets action.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yes. It makes you feel thrilled instead of mystery.
Yeah.
So,
I'll have to see what's on my TBR shelf and if there are mystery.
I'm gonna go through my Kindle books and see if there's anything in there that would qualify.
I know I have some mysteries on my shelves, but I don't think any of them are by people of color or LGBTQ+ authors.
Yeah, so if anybody has
Sometimes
any suggestions,
does anybody else feel this way? Like you feel a little dirty? Because like
is blah blah blah.
Yeah, exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Right.
Like I was trying to figure out because we were reading The Alienist.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
And so I was like, ooh, I wonder if this guy's
gay.
I wonder if Caleb Carr is gay. And so I was like trying to figure out if he was gay. And I was like, I just feel dirty doing this.
Yeah, I feel like invasive. like who cares? I'm like, well, I don't really care, but I need to know for my read harder challenge.
I know. So I'm like, I get why these I get why the challenges exist.
Right.
But it's like sometimes, I guess maybe it'd be better to just find an author who's like openly, and you know,
and
or like talks about it. It's not.
I missed the beginning of your book club. Are you continuing? Yes, we are definitely doing that. But we are doing instead of like picking the same book for everyone to read, we are selecting a read harder challenge every month. So everyone can read whatever they want to that fits the challenge, and then we'll just talk about the books that we read. So for March, we're going to do a mystery by a person of color LGBTQ author, and we will do another live show.
Yeah.
And now that we can do this on Facebook, it's easier.
Or on
YouTube. Yeah.
Justin Hartley, who plays Kevin on This Is Us. Everyone's talking about that show.
It
seems it's too intense for me.
Yeah.
Both got their start as Fox Crane on Passions. Oh. And Nathan Fillion was Joey Buchanan on One Life to Live. I didn't know that. Nathan Fillion. Oh. Sounds cool. Can't wait. Awesome. Yes. Do you want any more wine?
Go ahead, girl. We should have just put like 2 straws in it. And
we should have. Just a drink.
Wino.
This is like literally the first time I've drank wine in probably a year.
Oh, really?
I don't drink wine.
I like wine.
This is pretty good wine, though.
I like red wine. I don't really care too much, except for I like there is Rieslings. I like Rieslings for white wine, but I usually drink red. I usually drink Pinot Noir or Merlot.
I pretty much never drink wine. My boyfriend's brother got this for us for Christmas, and neither of us really drink wine. So I'm drinking it now, and I'm pretty sure that there's one in my refrigerator from last Christmas that never got opened. Not one of these, a different kind of wine, but it's white wine.
But yeah, I like wine. So I don't think I have anything else to say about
beards and bondage.
I'm trying to think if there's anything.
Didn't make you want to get into bondage?
Well,
get into BDSM.
Not BDSM. Like, I don't think I could be like a submissive, because I think I would get pissed off. Like, the second they like tried to boss me around, I'd be like, listen, fuck, here's the thing. But then I also wouldn't really want to be a dom either, because like, I'm bossy all day.
Yeah.
I'm bossy all fucking day, and I don't want to be bossy when I get home. Just do things. Like, I don't know.
So I'm pretty passive in real life, so I think I could be a dom.
Really?
I'd be like, get on your knees.
Lick my shoes. Now spank yourself. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm bossy so often. Like, I'm always like, I don't know. I don't want to. But I also don't want to be submissive either, because like I said, I think that I don't like to be told what to do.
Like levels of submissive, though, I think, or levels of BDSM.
I mean, not full on BDSM. I couldn't do it, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know if I could either,
but
you never know until you try.
I don't know. Maybe I'll get a whip and some leather boots. Start whipping.
Whip it good.
Whip it good.
Sadly, there wasn't really any sexy stuff in this. There was a little. It ends with a love scene, actually. But it doesn't end well.
Is this question? Is this a normal trope for romance novels? Because I don't know, because I don't read them. To have like sexual encounters building to like one big sexual encounter that's like the climax, for lack of a better word. You know how like books build to like the climax of the book and then boom. So like, is that normal for romance novels? Because that's kind of how this one was. It was like sex, big sex scene, end.
I don't know. I don't really. It's been so long since I've read like a regular, legit romance novel that I don't really remember.
I just thought it was interesting. I was like, okay, so this is the scene we've been building up to. It was a scene in which they used the butt plug.
Okay.
And she was like this.
Oh.
Like, just like trussed up.
See, I'm like being tied up. You don't like that?
I don't know. I don't want to be gagged, and don't pull my hair.
Let's see. Terrell says, I believe Toni Morrison's writing is similarly realistic to the way Alice Walker handled The Color Purple. I haven't read The Color Purple yet.
I haven't either. I've seen the movie, but I haven't read the book.
I haven't seen the movie either. He said, is this kind of like a 50 Shades knockoff?
It's
No,
better than 50
Shades.
Yeah, 50 Shades is some kind of weird Twilight knockoff, but
yeah.
No, this is better than 50 Shades. It's just also, it also happens to be about BDSM. Yeah, but I think it's a better representation of BDSM from what I understand BDSM to be.
Right.
I mean, I don't really know, obviously. So, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say earlier when we were talking about how I used to read romance novels as a teen. I remember, this is just an anecdote, I remember checking out a book at the library that if I had known what the word in the title meant, I would have been very embarrassed to check it out. But it was called The Very Virile Biking. And I didn't know what that word meant at the time.
Oh my.
It was one of those things where, like, later when I found out what it meant, I was kind of, like, mortified that the librarian knew that I should take that book out, and that, like, my parents probably saw me reading that book, and I was like, oh, geez.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What did I check out from the library? It was like it was about rape culture. Oh, it's called Asking for It. Oh. And I, like, went to the library drive-thru, and I had reserved it. And, like, the nice lady, she was like a probably middle-aged woman. She was super nice. And she handed it to me. I was like, oh, God, she's going to think, like, that I am.
I'm sure she probably knew what it was.
She was so, like, she was super nice. So she's like, I've heard about this, and I really want to read it, and blah, blah, blah. Like, she was super nice, and she handed it to me. Our library is really awesome. But,
yeah.
I was kind of, like, for a second, I was like, she's going to But she was really cool.
Oh, Mindy says, I found a great article with suggestions for mysteries, but it won't let me link it.
Oh, bother.
Tweet us. Terrell asked, do you think new adult is the much racier equivalent to YA? I'm not really sure what new adult is, I'll be honest. Is that about, like, college age people? Is that what new adult is?
That would make sense, like 18, 19, 20-year-olds. I mean, it would make sense if that was racier, because it's weird. To me, it's weird to write a YA novel about, like, 15-year-olds banging, because, like, I don't, as an adult, I don't want to read that.
Yeah, I don't know that I've read, I don't know, maybe I have read new adult and just didn't know that it was new adult, but is it written in the same style? Like, is it, like, a level up? Like, is the writing more difficult, or is it the same as YA?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
My question. I don't know. So I don't know the answer. What are our thoughts on sexual assault scandals and the Me Too / Time's Up movement?
Asking loaded questions here.
Well, I hope that ultimately this is, like, a good thing, that people are coming out and speaking up and saying, like, hey, this is not acceptable behavior. So I think it's a good thing that it's being brought to light. It's obviously a terrible thing that this shit happens. But I think it's sending a message that, like, this isn't acceptable. And so I think that's a good thing.
And I think it's a good thing that women finally feel like they have the ability to speak out about this kind of stuff, because I think that women for so long, we've kind of been conditioned to be small and quiet and to just accept our lot as a woman,
right,
and whatever comes with it. And so I think that it's refreshing that women are feeling, I mean, it's sad to see so many women share these stories, but I think it's refreshing that they feel like they have the power to do so, and that they feel like they have the support to do so right now. So I think that hopefully it'll be a good thing. And I mean, I think that as far as the Time's Up movement is concerned, I think it's about time that we kind of call some men to the carpet and just say, hey, this is not acceptable. And like, we're sick of dealing with this.
Right.
So I think it's ultimately going to be a good thing. I have to let my dogs out because they're freaking out. Hold on.
Garrison Hall says, hey, random booktube fan here. Just wanted to say I love your channel and it's here refreshing and hilarious.
Aw.
Well, thank you, Garrison.
Thanks, Garrison.
That's very sweet of you, and we're happy to have you. Terrell asks, what are your thoughts on the recent passing of disgraced ex-Glee star Mark Salling, who took his own life last week following his child porn scandal? Oh, I actually did not know any of the details of that.
I heard
because
some
I
stuff
did
about
not watch Glee, so I kind of didn't give a fuck, I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, he was about to be sentenced. And
Okay.
so before he was sentenced, he committed suicide. And I think, like,
Okay.
I don't ever wish suicide on anyone.
No.
So, I mean, I wish that he had, gotten some help and maybe tried to work on some things. But I also...
I actually, like, perhaps, probably very unpopular opinion here, but, like, I feel I'm a little bit fascinated by, like, pedophiles. That sounds terrible.
No, but, like, why?
But, like, why?
Right.
And also, like, from what I understand, it's really hard for them to get help.
Yeah, the recidivism rate is really high. Like, you can't... Statistically, it's very, very difficult to rehabilitate a pedophile.
Or, I mean, it's hard for them to even seek help, though,
Yeah.
because if they're to say, like, I'm attracted to children and I don't know how to
people are like,
stop it, people are
right.
like, you're a monster,
Shut your mouth.
like, immediately,
Yeah.
like, you're a monster.
Right.
And so, I mean, I don't feel bad for people who do that to children. Like, for people who abuse children, like, that's a horrible, horrible thing to do. I'm not trying to, like, say that they, but it just kind of, like, I think that there's probably a lot of pedophiles out there who never act on it, but who also can't really get help.
Well, I know in Missouri we have the MOSOP program. It's the Missouri Sex Offenders Program, and so any offender who goes to prison for a sexual crime against children, when they get out, if they get out, they have to complete MOSOP as part of their probation. And so I don't know a whole lot about what that entails. I'm sure it entails counseling and some classes and stuff. I don't know how effective that is.
Right.
But it's there. And I don't know, like, if you have to have been convicted of an offense to partake in that program, or if you could just say, like, hey.
The thing is, like, from what I understood, at least, from, like, I read some articles about it, from what I understand, like, unless you have actually acted on it,
it's hard to get help.
It's hard to get help because... in a lot of, I don't think it's all states, but in a lot of states, if you even say, like, I'm
interested in children,
I'm sexually attracted to children, then you have to be reported. In some states, I don't think it's everywhere.
No,
but
mandatory reporting laws are, at least in Missouri, are if someone tells me that they have perpetrated against a child, I have to report that.
Right.
If someone tells me that they're having sexual thoughts about a child, I don't.
Okay.
I should refer them to someone who specializes in that, and I would. But but
I've heard people who like counselors or psychologists who work with pedophiles say that they are kind of like ostracized sometimes. People are like, I can't believe that you can work with those people. Like, you.
Yeah. I've done a couple of, like, substance abuse assessments on because whenever you get out of prison, as a condition of your parole, you have to get a drug and alcohol assessment. And so I did a couple of assessments on a couple of individuals who were released from prison after serving sentences for sexual offenses. And yeah.
Boy, Terrell's really coming in with the hard thoughts on gender equal pay.
Yes. Thanks. That would be great.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
What do you think of Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott naming their daughter Stormy?
I don't even know who those people are.
I
don't care.
I don't really care.
I don't know who they are.
I know who Kylie Jenner is. I don't really know who Travis Scott is. Her boyfriend, I assume.
I mean, whoever impregnated her?
Right.
It's the baby's father?
Right. Stormy.
Name your kids what you want.
I mean, there's people named Stormy. I don't feel like that's the weirdest name she could have picked.
No, I mean, it's not like Apple or anything.
I mean, it's spelled weird, but...
Name your kids what you want to. I mean,
yeah, I guess.
Just consider the fact that they're going to have to...
All names were made up at some point.
That's true. Do what you want, man.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else? No. I guess. What are your most anticipated new reads? If you mean new releases, I have no idea.
I don't know because we don't.
I have no
we
idea
don't
what's
follow
coming
that.
out in March.
I am really stoked to read Contact in March.
Yeah, we're buddy reading Contact with Jessica and Christina from Game of Tones, and Rebecca from Tea Hags, and Richard from Richard Reads.
Yes.
So we're all reading Contact in March, so that's exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Contact by Carl Sagan. But other than that, I don't know what I'm going to read in March.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going to wing it.
Assuming a Mystery by a person of color, LGBTQ plus.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
I'm going to find one of those.
I'm going to do that.
Valentine's Day is tomorrow. What's your favorite rom-com and what's your least favorite?
I don't like rom-com.
Yeah, Megan doesn't really like rom-coms at all. Is Clueless a rom-com?
I only like Clueless.
I like Clueless a lot.
I like Clueless.
It's one of my favorites. Least favorite? I don't know. I tend to just forget movies I hate. So I'm not sure.
I really hated, what's the one with the bridesmaids dresses? Is it like 27 dresses?
27 dresses.
I don't like Katherine Heigl.
I don't really like Katherine Heigl either.
No, I really don't like
27 dresses is not great.
I don't know why I've even seen that.
I started to watch one the other day on Netflix. It had Jennifer Aniston in it, but I can't remember what it was called. But it was so boring that I stopped it partway through. Yeah. Not even. I was like 10 minutes in, and I was like, but I can't remember what it was now. Thoughts on Kim and Kanye naming their new kid Chicago?
Again, I don't care.
I mean, I feel like that's maybe gonna cause some problems for the kid. Maybe not. People are named like Brooklyn.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there are like very few things I could care less about than that. So, whatever.
I don't know what I would name a kid if I had one. Probably Marianne.
Mortimer.
Ansel. Malachi. The name Malachi always makes me think of Children of the Corn. I know it's from the Bible, but my brain goes straight to Children of the Corn. And I'm like, that's the creepiest name ever.
No, if you have kids, Damien and Malachi, that's what you should name them.
Damien and Malachi. Or Isaac and Malachi. That's the kids from Children of the Corn. Stacy Cakes. What do you think about your sister naming her daughter Ada?
What do you think about that?
In case you were wondering, Stacy is my sister. I think Ada's a classic, adorable name.
Sorry, my dog has decided he has to.
She's named after
a lady scientist,
strong, intelligent woman.
Yeah.
So I think
Murphy, what is happening here?
Terrell, what classic 90s TV show would you love to see getting a reboot in the near future?
I'm kind of sick of reboots, honestly. Like,
yeah,
come up with new ideas.
I wouldn't mind. I don't know. Charmed is getting a reboot, right? I think it is.
Or no, wait, yes, it is.
I think Charmed is.
It is. Yeah.
Well, I heard about that a long time ago though, and it still hasn't happened. I'm wondering if it's gonna actually happen. I wouldn't mind a Sabrina the Teenage Witch reboot, but it would have to have Melissa Joan Hart in it because I love Melissa Joan Hart. Maybe she has a daughter.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle? I could really not care less.
There are very few things that I could care less about than that.
Prince Harry's pretty hot. That's all.
He's an attractive gentleman. I like that her name is Megan. It's a great name. Good name.
I didn't know who she was until she was all over the news because they were engaged.
Yeah, I didn't know she was either. Nugget, why are you doing this to me?
I'm still not really sure who she is. I know she's an actress, but I don't know what she was in.
I don't either. Roseanne is coming back, Stacey.
Roseanne is coming back. I'm excited for the Xenogenesis series being turned into a TV show.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I'm wondering what the aliens are going to look like.
How are they going to do that?
And they have little tiny. Yeah, I know. Because they almost, the way they're described, in my brain, I almost think of like Muppets.
Oh,
they're covered in little tiny.
I can never read that book the same again.
I think of the Muppets that are like yep.
Oh God, can you imagine having sex with one of those? Because that happens in that book.
Yeah, so I'm really, although I think some of them were more human-like, because the one that Remember the one that was first introduced to
Yeah,
her?
it depends on like the ratio of people stuff to alien stuff. Whenever
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Meghan Markle was on Suits.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what that is.
Your sister wants to know if
seen
you've
The
seen
Good Place. I have seen the first season, and I really liked it.
I love
Kristen Bell.
Thank you. I love her.
I love her
She's
too.
adorable.
Yeah, that show's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Megan's Red Library. So late to the party, but hey, nice to see you.
Hi.
Hey,
nice
Megan.
to see you.
Do you have any diverse book recommendations? Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, the Xenogenesis series.
The Xenogenesis
by
series.
Octavia
for
Butler
sure. Oh,
would
man.
be my highest recommendation of any book ever, probably.
Yeah, me too.
Also called Lilith Brood.
Mm-hmm.
Anything by Octavia Butler, really.
Yeah.
Beloved by Toni Morrison, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like blanking out.
I would say I always talk about this book, but The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet I think is diverse because it talks about like diverse gender roles and sexual orientations, and there's a lot of diverse species in there.
The sequel also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, samesies.
What else?
We talked a little bit about If I Were Your Girl.
Yeah, If I Was Your Girl, by Meredith Russo, for sure.
That one for sure.
I'm blanking. I feel like there's
so many more, but like I'm on the spot here.
Native Son by Richard Wright.
I have that, but I haven't read it yet.
Also, a short story by him that I really liked was The Man Who Lived Underground. Favorite past SNL cast members.
Yes. I like all of those.
Yeah, I remember watching SNL back in the day when it was like Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, David Spade.
Mm-hmm.
I liked all of them.
Yeah, I liked them too. I liked my brain can't even right now.
I used to watch the old reruns, me and my sister, Stacy.
Yeah.
Late at night they'd play like the really old ones with like Chevy Chase and
he's one of the only ones I didn't like. I don't like Chevy Chase.
I thought he's a dick in real life.
That doesn't surprise me. He's annoying to me. Like I think he's obnoxious. I don't care for him.
Yeah. That's how I always felt about Robin Williams.
Really?
I'll be honest.
So
may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
I've heard he was a wonderful man in real life, but his stand-up especially, I just found him to be really annoying. He was just yelling all the time, and I was like,
I don't think that's funny. Like when comedians are just loud, I don't think that's funny. Why are you yelling at me? Stop yelling at me.
Favorite current SNL cast? I don't really watch SNL anymore. I do like Kate McKinnon. Sometimes I watch just like the clips online of skits.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't watch the actual show anymore. But I really like Kate McKinnon. So
yeah, she's really funny. Yeah.
Well, do you want to wrap this up?
Yeah.
It's been like over an hour now. So
yeah, let's close
wrap it up.
Let's close her out.
Yeah. So next month our challenge will be to read a mystery by a person of color or LGBTQ plus author.
Yeah.
And we will have live show.
We will have our live show
the second Sunday
in March.
As long as we don't have to reschedule because of weather. We have like everything was covered in a thin layer of ice.
So we'll do Sunday the 11th.
Yes, Sunday, March 11th will be our next live show. It will be at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Right.
Terrell. Bye, Terrell.
Bye, Terrell.
He's got to go. Yeah, so that's it.
That's it.
We'll see you guys next month, hopefully.
See you next month.
All right. Bye.
Bye.